My knee. My knee. My knee hurts. But I'm sitting down, so I guess it don't really matter too much. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Today is Tuesday. I believe it's Tuesday. I believe it's stream night. If not, then we're just doing a random stream right now. But I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday. Pretty sure it's Tuesday tonight. Like 90% sure it's Tuesday. Could be Wednesday. Could be Monday. Every day is Monday till Friday, though. Every day. Every day is Monday. All days are Mondays. It's Friday, though. It's Tuesday. I don't even know what day it is. Joshua, what's up? Logan, what's going on? Xander, what up, peeps? I'm just sitting here talking to myself, all crazy like. I do that at the beginning of every single stream. I notice that. Because sometimes, like, they'll replay on the TV. If I have YouTube going and I dip out, they'll just replay. And it's always me, like, talking to myself for, like, the first 60 seconds. It's always weird. Oh, Fox, what's poppin', dude? Jack, how you doing, Jack? I feel like it's been a while. Jack, how you been? I am not too bad. Ordered some more. Actually, we have parts for the 05 STI showing up this week, next week, the week after. We have a lot of parts for the 05 coming, which I'm personally excited for because I want to get some more parts going on that car. But I'm excited for it. Jamie, how you doing? Cole, what's up? What's poppin'? California up in here. It's I don't even understand. I don't even get it. It is Tuesday, is it? I lose track of what day it is, like, all the time. It's bad. I made it early. Awesome. How's it going? What's going on, Cody? How you doing, dude? How you doing, man? Eric, good evening. Good evening, Eric. My last day of isolation. I can work on my car soon. That's what I'm talking about, Xander. Get out there. Go work on that thing soon. Eric, what up, Tanner? Just got my 15 STI back. Been having withdrawals for the past week. What's new with the 05? You guys will see. But there's a new round of modifications coming in for the 05 STI that I am personally excited for. Because it's something I want to do for a while. But it was, like, stupid hard to find the parts that I actually wanted to use. Have you guys ever, like, wanted to buy parts for the car or your car and you, like, you know, like, the part that you want to buy, but you, like, keep going back and forth. I'm like, do I want this manufacturer? Do I want this manufacturer? Do I want to get these parts? Do I want to get those parts? I don't know. I've been doing that for the last couple days. I finally, ended up placing the orders. A lot of it is gauge stuff to get the oil pressure, oil temp, the rest of the gauges that I need in that car. I still need to buy an oil cooler. Here's something that I, like, can almost guarantee that nobody saw coming, an alternator. But not just any alternator. You guys will see. It's probably the fanciest alternator you've ever seen. Yo, what's going on, Justin? How you doing? Was wondering if you're talking. Do I talk to myself all the time? Out in the garage? Up in here? All the time. Gets weird. I like to get weird. What is happening? Glad to see some FA20. That's what I'm saying. How are you? I'm not too bad. Kicking it tonight. I'll try to get some more FA20 videos as I do more side jobs and they come up. I'll try to do some, like, more in-depth, detailed ones, too. A lot of this FA20 stuff that I'm doing is, like, my first time doing it on an FA20, so it's a little bit of a learning curve for me, but once I do a couple of them, I can definitely get some videos out there on some FA20 action for you guys. Take your advice. Got the fuel pump. Tuning moved to tomorrow now. Any guesses on power? Not sure. Josh, I do not remember the mod list. I barely remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. You are going to have to remind me, but I will throw you a power number that I perceive. Been doing pretty good. Had a good day of work. Now I'm ready for the live stream. Let's go! That's what I'm saying. Awesome day of work. What's popping with the 05? We touched on that a little bit. We got some fancy stuff coming. We got some fancy stuff coming for that car. Ayo, what's going on? Coop. We're just going to go Coop on that one. Also considering buying wing stabilizers for my STI wing on my 04 WRX. Do it. I've been trying to get rid of my wing, and a lot of you guys are against that, but don't care. I'm the one who's driving the car every day. I think you should live stream some of your installs for us. I could do that, but I've noticed live stream quality on my phone whenever I go to live. It's like, it's hit or miss depending on where I am. The live stream quality on my phone whenever I do live streams from my phone are pretty hit or miss. I can do them on Instagram, but that one's also pretty hit or miss on quality. But I can definitely, I'll be up at the mod garage doing some more side jobs tomorrow, so I can definitely, I'll do a live stream tomorrow. Up there. What exhaust setup was on that FA20 you were working on? I have no idea, but when I go back up there tomorrow, I'm working on that car again, doing brakes, brake lines, brake rotors, brake pads, and a brake flush. So when I go back up there, I'll take a peek to see what exhaust is on that thing. He's going back and forth consistently with the SRT4. Been thinking. been tinkering with? I haven't been tinkering with the SRT. That's not me. I don't like working on that car. That car's awful to work on. I helped Matt work on that car a couple times. Nope. 10 out of 10. Nope. I think I nearly worked out how to buy a BRZ. Just gotta get rid of a few things first. Fox, I want to see you in a BRZ, my man. I want to see it. I want to see you in the BRZ. I want to physically see it happen. Parts I want are in production. JDM STI mirrors. Good luck on finding those, Eric, for real. Yahoo Auctions. I honestly think I bought the last set that Rally Sport Direct carried like 2 years ago when they like discontinued selling them. I think I got the last set from them. Try to decide between Fortunato and Flat Out. Not even a competition. Fortunato, 100%. I'm at that point that I get more worried if I don't talk to myself working on a car. For real, that's what I'm saying. Like, I always talk to myself in the garage. It's weird, but I mean, it helps. Connor, appreciate the dono, man. Chad is your man. I'll hit you up with my 04 STI needs that engine bolt. Hey, let me know, dude. Chad, you in here yet? You in here tonight? I haven't seen you pop up yet. Chad, I promise I won't put you in timeout tonight. I didn't mean to last time. I totally forgot about that. When getting forged pistons, do compression ratios matter? I think that the EJ205 uses 8.5 to 1, whereas the EJ20G uses 8.0 to 1. I'd like to get to 450 horsepower daily as well. Block is strong, so pistons and rods. Personally, I'll just use same compression ratio. Unless you really want to mix up compression ratios, you can. Just keep in mind that compression ratio is going to change power later on. With higher compression ratio, lower boost, more power. Lower compression ratio, more boost, more power. What do you want? What do you want? You got to take a break on that one. Hey, what's up, man? Had our group's first cruise last weekend. Thanks for the invite, Butterfly. Thanks for the invite, man. CS Gray, hell yes. Caught the live stream early for once. Well, what's going on, dude? Should I get the used 2019 Plus STI or new one? Get a used 2019, 100%. Save yourself a little bit of money for some modifications. Just buy a used one. I always tell people, buy a lightly used STI if you were in the market for a newer model one. Save yourself a couple $1,000. So realistically, you're going to be saving yourself like $8,000-ish, depending on what trim level you get. But yeah, just get like a lightly used one. People sell them all the time. They'll like buy one, think the car is something it's not, and then sell it like right after. Also, Cody, appreciate the dono, man. Poor Chad. Chad, I'm waiting for you to come back up in here tonight, man. I promise I won't put you in timeout tonight. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to last time. Thanks for the FA20 content. Why did dude go with an automatic? Him and I actually talked about that. He got the automatic or the CVT WRX instead of a manual transmission one because of the price. It was significantly cheaper. And I'm talking significantly cheaper than a manual one. So he got that car for deals. I don't blame him. He daily drives the car, sits in traffic. It's not bad to have a CVT in traffic, and you want something that's a little bit fun. The WRX is a good way to go. Honestly, driving it around a little bit, just in the parking lot when I was driving it yesterday, it really didn't feel all that bad. Like, I'm not a fan of CVTs. I'll say that right now. Melanie's impresses CVT. Both her and I don't like the CVT in that car, but in the WRX, it did feel a little bit better. Squish that like button, folks. That's what I'm saying, Eric. You coming in here telling people squish like buttons. I'm all about it, man. Hey man, should I support my trans on my 2020 WRX when I'm throwing on a short shift plate? What do you mean support the trans? Like with a jack, you shouldn't need to. I wouldn't worry about it. Like, do you have to undo the I haven't done one of those in so long. I don't remember having to undo the transmission mount when I did it last time. So I'm gonna say no on that one. I'll hit you up when the engine on the 04 is ready to be pulled. Do you think axle could hit the external wastegate up pipe if the suspension gets bottom out? No. What dump tube are you using? That's the question. Like, how long is your dump tube? Like a normal, like, Grimspeed one or like PLM or something along those lines. They're not a crazy long dump tube. It's not really going to hit the axle. Well, now I got to think about it because it comes off the wastegate and then goes around. Actually, maybe it could. No, I'm going to say no. I still don't think it could. Went with Turbo Smart Boost Gauge and Pro Sport oil temp pressure, probably an AEM AFR soonish. I spent way too much money on gauges today, and I will be... Chad, welcome, my friend. Hey, Tanner, just finished the FA20 video. I have that same cold air intake and stealth box. Definitely is fun. See, that's what I'm saying. Chad, welcome, my man. Welcome, my dude. There, Chad put himself... Yeah, I spent way too much on gauges today. So normally I'm pretty like strict with parts that I buy, and I'm like, I know I like this brand, I know I want that brand, I like this brand. You guys will see when the video comes out. It's just I spent way too much money on gauges. Do I regret it? Not a bit. Not a single bit. Just made it. Omni, what's going on, man? What's going on, Omni? Do I ever plan on tracking the cars? Yes, Benjamin, I do. As soon as the 05 gets its gauges in it, and as soon as we get an oil cooler on that car, it will be going to the track. Yes. The 17 STI at some point will be going to a time attack course, but we have a lot to work out with that car right now. I'm finishing up the battery relocation of the 17 STI today. This is my first time doing like a battery relocation. It's really not that hard to do. It's time consuming. It's a little bit annoying, but it's not that hard. I have a 16G, putting on a J-pipe, Cobb, Big SF, and TGV and EGR, plus a radiator. Ooh, all very good modifications. All good mods to throw in there. Names based on the CD5 5th. Okay, I got you. Now I understand. See, the more I know, the more we know. The more we know. Rotor and pad combo for street. I know I asked this before, but sorry. 100%. I like the stop text setup. Like, I use the stop text setup on my daily drivers. This is what I have on the 05 STI and the 17 STI. The one on the 17 STI is obviously going to be changing a little bit. But stop text, like street slotted rotors and just their like street pads. I mean, I've had good luck with those in the past. I'm using HP ceramic pads now. They take a little bit to warm up, but once they warm up, you get so much brake bite on those things. It is ridiculous. Also, Dan! Appreciate the dono, man. Hey, Smeeds. Love the channel, love the builds. Quick question. Should I upgrade my coolant expansion tank and my overflow when I upgrade my red? No, you don't need to. If you wanna, it's not really an upgrade for the coolant overflow. If you want one that just looks better, then by all means, yeah, get one that looks better. Do you need to upgrade the coolant expansion tank? Not by any means. The only time that I ever really upgrade the coolant expansion tank is when my stock one breaks, leaks, or just has lived its life. Ayo, I drive a 2010 WRX and I'm on the fence about upgrading to an 11 STI. Any thoughts? Send it. Dan, that's you. Send it. Send it. Do it. Get the 11 STI. I'm on board for that one. Nothing against narrow bodies, but like narrow body WRX, not my cup of tea. We're gonna continue using that term. It's just not my cup of tea. I've never been a huge fan of narrow bodies. I used to have a narrow body a long time ago. It's a good like. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole in narrow bodies today. But if you're considering jumping up to an STI, I would highly consider it. So what do I think about Washington attempting to ban the sale of gas cars by 2030? I think everyone in Washington is going to go to Oregon and Idaho to go buy all their cars. 2011 STI hatched for 19 grand with 107,000 miles on it. Or kilometers. 107,000 kilometers? I'm guessing that's kilometers. Anyways, 11 STI hatched 19K. Pretty on... I mean, average price for one. 11 to 14s go for a little bit more for the GR series just because you get the wider body, you get some of the revisions that Subaru decided to do, and the price typically tends to reflect that. So honestly, sounds about on point for that. Raffle, no, you asked if we ever go back and forth with parts. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I got you. Answering questions. I see what you did there. That's funny, man. Refuse to work on the other car. The other car. Which one am I refusing to work on? Oh, the Neon. Yeah, the Neon's not even my car. That's Matt's car. What should I know before buying wheels for my WRX? What tire size do you plan on running? What fitment do you want out of it? What's your budget? What's your price range? Allocate the money for tires and wheels if you need tires, and make sure you buy the appropriate size. You don't want wheels that stick out because you bought way too low of an offset. Just do the research. Do the research on what you're trying to find. I see someone dabbing over here, and I like it. I like it. We'll get to that. All right, Josh. Killer Bee, Holy Headers, NVIDIA up pipe, Grim Speed, catted down pipe, Grim Speed boost controller. All right, so a boost controller, down pipe, headers, up pipe, fuel pump, intake, injectors. I don't see injectors. Am I missing injectors? Josh, without injectors, I'm going to say you cap out at 310 horsepower without injectors. With injectors, maybe 325, 330. Good evening, sir. I live in Houston. Hot weather. I used to live in Houston, Alex. Well, not Houston, but Louisiana. We used to go to Houston like every weekend. So I mean, I guess like recreationally, we lived in Houston. And I want to use this, and I want to use the same brand and weight of oil used for your built 05 or 05. I'm going to call it semi-built. STI. Year-long, which one is it, please? I use Motul 5W40 XS Gen 2. Pretty good oil. I haven't had any issues with it. I'm about to be changing the oil here in about a week and a half, so I will be sending that out too. Don't have injectors. I'm going to guess 310 wheel horsepower. My guess. I'm about to send an oil sample of that 5W40 out to Blackstone to see how the 05 STI is doing and see the analysis on that oil. And then we're going to continue running it. I think I'm going to run 300V in that car on the next cycle of oil just to see how that one does, but all about it. Alex, appreciate the dono, my friend. Appreciate the dono, my man. But yeah, 100%. Motul 5W40 is what I use now. Haven't had any issues with it. My next project is a 911, or next project is a 911 for sure. I would love to build a 911. I would love to own a Porsche and build a Porsche. Those are expensive, and I don't got Porsche money. I don't got Porsche money for that. Oh, chat, don't you jump on me, chat. Bro, cargo box or cargo basket? Cargo box, 100%. What up, Tanner? You recommend thicker oil? Do you recommend thicker oil have same setup on 17 SCN turbo as you do? Or as you... Okay, so before I had the EG, so FP Blue setup, thicker oil, I mean, honestly, I would just stick with 5W40. It's a pretty good oil, XS Gen 2, Motul, you can't really go wrong with it. What's up, man? Bought new wastegate actuator thinking it would solve overboost issue, but it hasn't, unfortunately. Could a bad Cobb EBCS be the culprit causing overboost? Tuned for 19 PSI and hitting 23. Could definitely be a bad boost controller, but I've never seen a boost controller solenoid go bad, especially a Cobb one. I've seen like faulty wiring or like old wiring go bad, causing an issue between the voltage that it's setting to the actual electronic boost controller and how it actually converts that back into a signal to the ECU. If you're catless, that could also be another issue, but you're only going to be seeing 23 PSI if you're 100% watt. But I mean, there could be a plethora of things causing an overboost issue. Could be in the tune itself. I don't know the Pro Tune. I don't know if it's Pro Tuned. Is it Pro Tuned? Did you say Pro Tuned? You said it's tuned for 19 PSI, but that doesn't tell me if it's a Pro Tune or not. Could be a bad EBCS, but I have never seen one go bad. If you're ever in Wisconsin, let me know. We might have to consider inviting you. So that's what I'm saying. I got a buddy that lives over in Madison. I should go visit. Then I can be in Wisconsin. Espaseth, if you're seeing this. Hello, Espaseth. I doubt you're watching this, Espaseth. I have so many questions tonight, bro. Haha! What's going on, CS Gray? How much of a process is getting air suspension fitted? These New York street... It's not bad to get air suspension fitted. It's easy to install. It takes time to run all the airlines properly. What takes the most amount of time is getting everything set up properly. Keep in mind that if you're going to do air suspension, sway bars, end links, tow rods, tie arms, everything to be able to, like, lower control arms, everything to be able to give you proper adjustability in the suspension, you're going to need it. The stock eccentric bolts in the suspension just are not going to be enough to get you where you need to be on airbags, especially when you go to air route or especially when you're like ride height. 100% get all the proper suspension components before you commit to airbags, like 100%. Been wanting a 19 STI, but the WRX is so damn... Honestly, the WRX is not a bad car. The FA20 WRX is not a bad car. I make it out to seem like it's just not enjoyable to work on. And there's EJs. EJs have their shit spots, but so do FAs. FAs, it's more of like there's like so many coolant hoses you have to work, especially like back by the ECU. It's ridiculous. And trying to get an AOS back there and relocating the ECU, it's not the end of the world, but it is a little bit annoying. EGR, I mean, that doesn't really apply to too many people nowadays anyways, but EGR delete is a little bit annoying, but not bad. The worst thing that I hate about the FA20 working on it is 100% the whole entire turbo inlet area. I hate, there's like way too much going on in such a little spot, and it gets frustrating working down there. Aside from that, I mean, I have no issues with the FA20 itself. The transmission I'm not a huge fan of, but I have no problems with the engine. Kareem, I love you. Kareem, I love you. Is it possible to convert from CVT to manual? Yes, it is. I don't care about ripping out EyeSight, though. I don't know how your EyeSight would communicate with a manual transmission. I don't know if it would put the car into limp mode if you started ripping out CVT stuff to convert to a manual. I've never messed with EyeSight at all, so I don't know the interaction between EyeSight and the TCM. I know there is a transaction between EyeSight and the TCM, so I know you'd have to swap your TCM from the CVT one to a manual transmission one. I'm sure it's possible. I heard the wiring will be the fun part, trying to get it all to work. What year STI do you recommend to purchase? That depends on your budget. That depends on what you want. And that depends on what you're going to be using the car for. If you want more of a classic style STI, 05 or 07 would be my suggestion if you're looking at a GD model. If you're looking at a GR, which is going to be 08 to 14, I'd suggest anywhere between 11 and 14. If you want a newer one, I'd go 17 and plus. Or if you want one with Type RE short block, 19 and plus. Auto, it's just a CVT. Come on. Come on! Thanks for the compression ratio tip, Tanner. Anytime, man. I want to run 19 PSI because 270 horsepower at 15 PSI is cringe. That is... try and hit 350 on a relatively stock setup. Honestly, I would just swap to 8.5 to 1. Assuming that the piston is the exact same, like, dimensionally speaking, as the... what was it? 8.5 and 8.0 was as long as the bore, the diameter, as long as dimensionally the pistons are the same and you want to up compression ratio, by all means. We upped the compression ratio on the EG33. I don't remember what we upped it to. I think we upped it like I think it was at 8.5 or 8 and now it's at 9 or 9.5 or 9.2. I don't remember. I've got a whole build list of that thing. Chad, appreciate the dono, man. EGR delete clears up some space on the FA20. That it does. 100%. It clears up a decent amount of room, too, because you get the whole EGR solenoid out there. You get the whole crossover pipe going from the EGR solenoid to the intake manifold, and then that long, stupid pipe that goes from the EGR solenoid all the way to the back of the block, and then you have all those coolant hoses. That's the only thing I don't like about a lot of the EGR delete stuff on the FA20s. You have to use 90s to reconnect all the coolant tubes going everywhere. And I kind of wish they would just give you like one new pipe or one new coolant line where you could just be like, all right, this end here to that end there, just to like close the loop. But I mean, it does the exact same thing. Where did I just go? Here we go. Hey, man, love your channel. What's going on, Tony? I just wanted to ask you a question. Is it all right if I get a slightly bigger turbo as a daily driver? Yeah, as long as you get tuned for it. I have an intercooler, radiator, and oil catch can ready to build. What is the car? What is the car? I mean, depending on how big of a turbo you're like trying to go to and what the car is, by 100%, we can. It's doable. You just gotta have the right supporting mods. Hey, did that one. I got a 2020 WRX CVT. I love it. Daily driver. That's what I'm saying. It's not bad. CVT. They're not bad. They're not bad at all. Yeah, trans mount doesn't need to come out after the for the short shift plate, but the bracing does need to come. No, you shouldn't need to. As long as the transmission mount stays bolted to the transmission and the subframe, or the transmission little crossmember subframe, there's no need to support it unless you really want to. You can throw a jack under there, like a just a normal like woo kind of like normal jack that you pump up like that. You shouldn't need to. Yo, what if people started building their ECUs like they do their PC? I mean, that'd be kind of cool. Just get a Haltech with full RGB lights and fans. What would we do? Like the fun. Hold up! I've been waiting for this moment. I'm prepared. I'm not grabbing that. Yeah, RGB fan, RGB everything. Why not? Do you ever plan? Oh, we talked about that one. Tracking the cars. Yes. Hey man, love your channel. Just wanted to ask you a question. Is it all right if, bro? We talked about that one. You don't got to double up. You don't got to double up. CD5 Sir Coupe, you caught me. I wanted Defi gauges but couldn't justify it at the time. That's what I mean, I got the Defi gauges for the 05 STI and I still can't justify the price tag on them. It's stupid. Why do I have to buy a controller to control an oil pressure, oil temp, and water temp gauge? Why do I have to spend $200 on a little box to record data? I don't care to record data on the gauges, but I can't use the gauges without the box. It's the dumbest thing. This is stupid. Not enjoyable. That's my rant with Defi. Yeet, let's go, baby. What's going on, Douglas? How you doing, man? How you doing, man? What's going on over here? What's going on the live chat? I'm like, wait, I draw. Oh, no. I dropped my Chick-fil-A. Well, oh, no, not the Chick-fil-A. That sounds so good. I kind of want Chick-fil-A for dinner now. Oh, dude, be careful with fiberglass. Yeah, 100%. Fiberglass is not fun to deal with. 100%. I got fiberglass like all over me before. It's just not enjoyable. Same with like carbon fiber. If you get carbon fiber particles like floating around in the air too, make sure you have the same precautions as if you were working with fiberglass. I'm going to be using a Turbo XS EXT extension up pipe. They sell them still. Do they sell them still? I didn't know they still sold those. I'm kind of regretting picking up an OBXT. Should have gone with the GDWX. Matt has said the same thing. Matt has said the exact same thing. But, I mean, there's still a lot of stuff you can do with the OBXT stuff. You just got to pick and pull parts from certain years. I'm going to do my top-mounted intercooler install Friday, but for now, I should invest $87.99 on 16-pound burrito Friday morning first. You're spending $90 on a burrito? On a 16-pound burrito? Omni, what kind of burrito are you getting, dude? Kind of burrito? Cody, appreciate the dono. Them likes, though. I have no idea what likes are at right now. I have absolutely no idea. Are likes good? Are people liking the live stream? Are we liking the live stream, my friends? Make sure you like the live stream. Lorenzo, yo, what's going on, Lorenzo? Stop Tech rotors going on the FXT soon. Can't go wrong with those. Can't go wrong. Lifefly, appreciate the dono, man. Subaru's making 2 versions of the STI. I'm getting that 400 horsepower one. Can't wait. Nothing's been confirmed yet from Subaru. I'm estimating it's going to make around 350 wheel horsepower. It's my estimate. Could be more. Could be less, but that's my estimate. Unless Subaru's released some top secret information that I'm not aware of yet, but I keep pretty up to date on a lot of the Subaru stuff. At least I like to think. At least I like to think so. Ace Media. Any recommendations on first cars for an enthusiast? Yeah. Why not? We can dabble. We can dabble into it. BRZ, not bad. FRS, not bad. GT86, all relatively affordable if you're looking at the earlier model years. If you're looking a little bit cheaper, 350Zs aren't bad. That was my first enthusiast car learning to work on a car, was my old 350Z. Learned a lot on that thing. Absolutely loved it. Older WRXs, 240s if you can find a 240, Miatas, older Hondas if you don't mind building those. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of front wheel drive, but Focus ST isn't a bad one as a first enthusiast car either. I think that one's relatively affordable. Lots of modification support behind it. Older BMWs aren't bad at this point. I've been looking into BMWs. I kind of want a BMW, but that's a ways down the road. But, I mean, hopefully that helps, Robert. Hopefully that helps, my man. I recently got a Cobb access port. I have a catback, so I run the stage 1 tune. Yeah, you'll be totally fine with that. I think, yeah, I don't think they have. Yeah, just do the stage 1 tune. You'll be fine on that one. Yo, man, finally caught a stream. Super busy with work and the legacy. Haven't had time on the internet. I totally feel that. That was me yesterday. We didn't get done working on that WRX up at the Mod Garage. Not the blue one that I was doing, not the FA20, but the older 05 WRX. We didn't get done with that one till 12:30 in the morning. It was a blast. It was so much fun. So I placed 6th in Pro 205-pound class at the AZ Arm Wrestling Tournament right hand. Ooh, I feel like 6th is pretty good. Also met another Subi couple from Orange County. Awesome. I still didn't know. I didn't know that the arm wrestling thing was I didn't know tournaments on that were still a thing. That's awesome. I mean, congrats on getting 6th. I don't know if that's good. I think that's good. That sounds good. Congrats. Hey, Tanner, love the channel, man. And all the best on your builds. Hey, thank you, Agent. Appreciate it, man. Should I STI swap my 08 WRX? Would it be difficult? I mean, it would be the same as STI swapping any other WRX out there. That's the one thing that Subarus are nice with. They're like Legos. They're all plug and play. You could take parts off of one year, swap them over to another generation, and for the most part, you're going to have pretty good success swapping them all over. Don't get the Weapon R, coolant tank, or power steering res. They both are a huge disappointment. Ooh. And failed on my G. That's funny because I used to have that same setup on my old Z. They were mediocre at best. Thanks, anytime. Saw the video today. Trade the Impreza for an FA20. The Impreza, Melanie's Impreza? We were talking about it. She wants a hatchback only. She is set on a hatchback. If it's not a hatchback, she don't want it, which I don't blame her. She knows what she wants. It's not a bad thing. So at one point in time when all the financials of the world work out, we'll get her a 2014 WRX or STI. Because that's what she wants. Hey, man, I love your channel. Thank you. Thank you, Tony. Just wanted to ask you a question. Is it all right if I get a slightly bigger... We talked about Tony, my dude. You're doubling up on the comments. I promise I'll get to them, Tony. I promise. Hey, man, love the channel. Just wanted to say the 17 STI EG33 is the only build I've looked forward to. Can't wait to see it breathe into life. Same! After this live stream, I'm going to be finishing up the battery relocation on that thing. I knew the chat was going to jump. I knew it. I'm going to be finishing up the battery relocation. All I have left to do are ground the starter and ground the battery. And then we should have power. Should. I don't know if we will, but we should. Tony, my guy, we talked about this. Tony, my dude! Looks like I'm pulling the trigger on the 11 STI. Send it down. Let me know if you get it. Let me know if you get it, dude. I'm totally curious. Let me know. The weapon RPS Res refused to bleed the coolant overflow. That's how it was with my Chase Base power steering reservoir. That thing was a pain to bleed. That thing did not want to bleed when we were doing it. Some reservoirs I've just noticed, I don't know if it's like the internal design on them. They don't want to bleed, and it can be so frustrating dealing with them. All right, thanks. What injectors would you recommend? I'm just trying to get to 350 on my stock block. So what else should I get to? 350, you're going to need different turbo. You're not going to be able to hit 350 on a stock VF40. Oh my God, brain fart. You're not going to be able to hit 350 on stock turbo, unfortunately. I would highly suggest swapping out to like a Cobb 20G or an FB Blue if that's something you're shooting to do, as well as other supporting modifications. Sounds like you got most of it knocked out already. Make sure you already have those longevity modifications on there, AOS, the linear fork wheelie mod, all that kind of stuff that we talked about earlier. But if you are injectors, 1050s, Cobb 20G, pump gas, 350, you can do it. Is 5W40 better for a stock 2018 STI? I firmly believe so, yes. There's a reason that Subaru uses 5W40 in the S209. It's a good oil. They use 300V 5W40 in the S209. They should just use 5W40 Motul in all of the stock cars, but they don't. I mean, obviously it's a cost thing. But 100% 5W40. Yes, it is still very good in a stock STI. Lifelight, I cannot wait for Subaru release official. I know, right? On the new STI. Y'all haters are going to be sick. Hey, all I'm saying is if Subaru actually releases a car with 400 horsepower, wheel horsepower, I'm all for it. I'm all game. I am 100% down for it. I just don't see Subaru actually doing that. But if they do, I hope they prove me wrong. I think that it's going to be around 350 wheel horsepower, but I hope they prove me wrong on that one. Finally catching a live stream. Hello all. What's going on, my man? I can't decide on Brembo swap color, OEM gold, acid green, or GT3 RS orange. Car is a Java black pearl wagon. What y'all think? Gold. I'm going with OEM gold on that one. Out of those three color choices, gold. 100%. Hey man, after removing evap system, should you plug the hardline on the firewall or leave it open? Don't plug it. Leave it open. Run a vent tube going down into the fender. You don't want to cap that because there's still pressure that gets built up that needs to be released out of there. I've seen people cap it before. I've never seen anything negative happen from capping it, but personal preference, I'd rather just run a little vent tube down into the fender. That's what I do on the 05 STI. That's what I did on the 17. Tony, we talked about your turbo question. Hey, what's up? Caught a live stream. What's going on, Jim? How you doing, man? Why does my 2019 WRX feel quicker some days than others in New Jersey and not driving in hot weather? Why are you not driving in hot weather? I mean, obviously, the colder it is outside, the more dense the air is, which means more air is going to be like getting into the turbo. So more air, more fuel, more bang, more quick. As to why it may feel slower on some days and quicker on other days, it could be like a placebo thing. But there really shouldn't be anything that's like mechanically causing it to do that, as far as I know, as far as I'm aware, unless there's like some secret sauce. Struggling on deciding which timing belt to go with for my 05 STI. Oh, wait, don't get gates. No gates. No gates. What is it? Aisin. Asian? I pronounce it wrong every single time. That one. It's on Amazon. It's significantly cheaper than OEM. They all use like good JDM quality parts. That's what I use on the 05 STI. 100%. That's what I recommend for everyone who comes through the mod garage and I do a motor build for them. That kit, 100%. Unless somebody really wants to shell out the money for all OEM stuff, but it gets expensive. I think I spent nearly $1,000 on timing components alone for the EG33 because there was like no good aftermarket solutions. It gets quick. It gets expensive quick. I think just for one pulley, and I think there's 5 of them on there. I think for just one pulley, it was around $70 per pulley, just to give you like some frame of reference. The timing belt itself was like $200. The tensioner was another $150. Like, it adds up quick going with all OEM. Josh, go 1300s. There's no need for 1300s shooting for 1050. There's for 350 horsepower. 1050s will get you there just fine. About to finish off my bolt-ons for my FA20 with a better top-mount intercooler and charge pipe, as well as a flex kit. Ooh, Ooh, I'm already peaking around 20-21 PSI on my current Pro Tune. Do you recommend a new bypass valve? It doesn't hurt. It definitely doesn't hurt for the price. I mean, you can pick up a bypass valve like a Boomba one for an FA20 WRX for what, like $200, $250. Definitely worth the money in my opinion. Plus, you get a little bit more like flutter out of it. I would suggest so. The one that I did yesterday, that blue FA20 or that blue WRX with the FA20 had a Turbo Smart. I want to say it was Turbo Smart in there. It sounded crisp. I liked it. I would love Subaru to make a Crosstrek STI. That Matt and I were talking about this the other day. They should make a Crosstrek XT and just put the FA20 DIT in it. I think that would be a huge selling market. It's huge. But then Matt brought up a good point that then it would be competing with like the new Outback and whatnot. It's just, I think they should do it. Andrew, I've always ran Gates and never had an issue, just my experience. Some people have had no issues with Gates. Other people have had issues with Gates. I personally would stay away from Gates. Is it alright if I get a slightly bigger... Tony. I have a question. I accidentally dropped food in my engine bay and my car smokes now. What did you drop in there? Like spaghetti? You fit so much spaghetti in this bad boy. Like, I mean, it depends on the... I mean, yeah, it'll be alright. I dropped my Chick-fil-A while changing some parts, and it's probably, like, Chick-fil-A sauce on, like, the exhaust manifold. So whenever the car's running, you're probably just getting a whole bunch of Chick-fil-A sauce burning off. It'll burn off. It'll stop burning off once it's all burnt off, but 100%, yeah. I need help with my 15 STI. Well, what can I help you with? Tony, slightly bigger turbo, has its dependencies. Like I said, there's a lot of factors that go into it. Also, Chad, appreciate the dono, man. A small bit towards the spoolie snail. Hey, thank you, my friend. Always appreciate the dono, my man. Hopefully I can get the turbo ordered this week. Like, it's just waiting for, like, because, like, as soon as I get paid, like, I pay bills, and then it, like, takes, like, 5 days to actually, like... you guys know how it goes. We're all adults here, I think. I mean, I'm only an adult on the outside. On the inside, I'm still, like, 5, but... Appreciate the dono, man. Regardless, we're going to get that turbo ordered here ASAP. It literally looks like you're missing parts because the coolant hoses are flopping all over. I'm just like trying to think back. Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about with the EGR delete. 100%. Tanner, just thought I'd let you know if you ever get a GC-GF for the channel, I'd recommend getting the 92-94 non-turbo auto because the manual gives the 16G and it comes closed deck from the factory. If I ever bought a GC, you know I'm ripping the engine out. You know I'm putting something else in there. You know we're not going to stick with that. We're going to put a different trans in there. We're going to send it to the moon. To the moon! But if I ever do, like, we'll do some crazy stuff with it. I got EGR delete on my 18WX, and now all the sellers on eBay say they don't sell anymore. Glad I purchased it when I did. A lot of people are pulling them off the shelves. Tony, 2017 STI. If you want to put a bigger turbo on the car, at minimum, fuel injectors, fuel pump, fuel pressure regulator, turbo itself, obviously, intake, downpipe, intercooler. That would be my basic recommendations for power additions. I'm sure there's some other ones that I'm missing in there, but also keep into consideration you're going to have to get AOS. I would highly suggest cylinder 4 cooling mod. You're going to need an E-tune. You're going to need an access port. It adds up pretty quickly. How did I get into cars? Good question. What was it? My old Subaru, my 1988 XT. I remember I bought that car. I really wanted a Subaru at the time. It was the only Subaru I could afford. I bought that car for $1,200. Had like 400,000 miles on it. Ran like a champ. Let me say that. But when parts started to break on it, I didn't have the money to take it to a mechanic and have someone else fix the car for me. So I had to learn how to do it one way or another. So it started out with me like redoing a... I'll tell you guys this also in a minute. But it started out with me doing like the starter, basic maintenance and stuff like that. And then when I joined the Army, I bought my 350Z. And then I started getting into like more advanced modifications like headers, like all that kind of stuff like that. And it just kind of took off from there. And I just enjoyed doing it. I remember, it was funny. I don't remember. I think I was talking to Matt about this the other day. I remember when I did my very first oil change. And I had no idea how to do it. I remember it was in my old 88 XT. And I remember I took all the oil out. I put a new oil filter on. I put a new crush washer on, the plug back in. And then I literally filled the oil all the way up to the very top of the oil fill neck. The very, 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 very top of it. The car wasn't happy with me. I went out there with a turkey baster not knowing any better, and I was trying to suck all the oil out. Didn't end well. But you learn. You live and learn. You live and learn. Are these Faction Fab brake rotors any good? I've never heard anything bad about them. I've seen other people use them before. I've personally never used them. I mean, it's a brake rotor. As long as they don't crack over time, if they're slotted or drilled, then yeah, no issues with them for the price. Why would you want to water cool a car's ECU? We could water cool it. Maybe it gets hot. Maybe you want to put it in a hot spot. Water cool it. 99 viewers and only 32 likes. Chad coming in here policing people up. I'm all about it. Chad, police it up. What state do I live in? I'm in Washington State. Washington State. I am like South Canada up here. Yeah. I had to I don't know why I had to think about that. Yeah, hit the like button for your boy. That's what I'm saying. Jim coming in here policing people up. My dam dropped when I flashed stage 2 on my 15 STI. Running totally normal. If you're getting knock 2. I don't know what values of knock you're getting. If you just flash a map onto your ECU, your dam may not be at 1. Sometimes it has to build up to 1. That's totally normal if you do see that. I don't know what your knock values are, but anything like negative 2.4, negative 3.2, negative 4.2, you may see on occasion with an OTS tune. Totally normal. If you're seeing like excessive amounts of knock and like dam like straight to the floor, then you got a problem. But with what you have going on the car, I wouldn't worry about it. So you have a Cobb intake. Cobb intake. Should I remove Wait, you're running... Hold up. Why are you running... You're running a stage 2 map on your 15 STI with an intake. Do you have a downpipe on there? Should I remove parts, upgrade fuel system, get everything tuned properly? I'm getting knocked too. Well, you're using the wrong tune. If all you have on there is an intake, you should be on a stage 1 map, not a stage 2 map. So try flashing over to the stage 1 map, seeing if that fixes it. Would you rather have my 2019 stock WRX or my roommate's 2011 Evo? I'm going to be honest. I think I would take the WRX. I like Evos. I don't like the Evo 10s. The interior in the Evo 10 is not... It's not flattering. It is not a nice interior. I personally just don't like the interiors on the Evo 10s. At least the ones that I've seen. I've never seen a good interior on an Evo 10 that I've liked. If it was like an Evo 8, Evo 9, 100% I'd take the Evo any day of the week. Honestly, I don't know. I'd probably just flip a coin, and whatever the coin landed on is what I'd go with. For real, only 35 likes and over 90 in the chat. So I'm saying Joshua coming in here policing people up. Everyone's policing things up in here. I'm digging it. I'm all about it. My WRX throwout bearing chirp has healed itself. Don't you love it when that happens? Like, your car just fixes itself. Rarely happens, but it happens. It's the third one in the car. That's not fun to deal with. Nice work today, broski, at the Mod Garage. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate it, Rumble Hatch. Hugo, how you doing, man? Do not bring back the hatch, please. Sorry, not a fan. Why don't you like the fan, guy? Why don't you like the fan? Why don't you like the hatch, guy? What's wrong with the hatch? I like the hatch. I had 2 of them. I like my hatches. Classic muscle cars are the best beginner. I've never had a muscle car. I've never had one. I wouldn't mind an S550, a newer Mustang at some point in life. I think it'd be fun. They look cool. I wouldn't mind a Fox body either, but I also wouldn't mind a Buick. I don't know. There's a lot of cars I wouldn't mind having, but they're expensive. Just got in. What I'd miss. We're just kicking it, hanging out, chilling, drinking some coffee, kicking it because I'm all out of Trulies right now. Straight up all out of Trulies. All out of them. Did you watch, what? I don't even know what's going on over there. I don't even know what that is. Did I watch something? I don't even know what that is. Don't even know what it is. I don't even know what's going on right there. I have a Turbo Smart boost gauge. Should I change it to an AEM boost gauge? Just leave it. If you already have the Turbo Smart in... Oh, don't jump chat. I knew it. I knew it was going to do it. If you already have a Turbo Smart one in there, just leave it. No need to swap it out. Super easy to work on. True. I just got a Stage 2 2017 STI with NVIDIA Catalyst downpipe 400. R400 Cobb intake, access port, EBCS, etc. M2 58k miles. I love it. I just need to get the reliability mods done. AOS cylinder for a cooling mod. Ooh, congrats on the car. Glad to hear you're on a Pro tune, also not an OTS tune, but awesome. Snag that AOS, snag that cylinder for a cooling mod. Make that thing last like 100,000 miles, man. Make it last. Make it live its like 200,000, 400,000. Make it keep going. I'm all about it. I'm selling my Miata this weekend. Why? They're kind of sketchy with so many bad... Oh, okay, I can see that. I 100% believe that. I just ordered an iDoing head unit. I feel like it's going to be super hard to install. It's not bad. It's not bad. And most of it's all plug and play connectors. That's easy. All you got to do is just plug them all into each other. That's the easy electrical stuff. Is the 17 STI good to get for a daily driver? 100%. I mean, I daily drove mine for 2 years before I decided to pull the motor and put something else in there. But yeah, 100%. Want to keep it simple and add mods to you keep it reliable but faster. As long as you do all the basic reliability stuff. AOS, cylinder fork cooling mod. If you really want to, larger radiator, headers, fluid damper, crank pulley. I mean, you could go like endless with reliability mods. But yeah, 100%. It's a good daily driver. I found a 350Z with 156,000 miles on it. It has a custom Nismo kit. I really want a Nismo 350Z. I miss my old 350Z. It was burnt orange. It was an 04. It was just a VQ35DE. It did not sound like a trumpet either. Let me throw that out there. It was not one of the trumpety sounding ones. It was not a straight piped one. But I kind of miss it. I would like to. If I ever got another one, I'd want a Nismo. But anyways, and it's manual, and he's selling it for 4K. Should I buy it? 100%. If he's selling that thing for 4K, 156,000 miles, buy that thing. What year is it actually? What year? Doesn't matter. $4,000. I'd buy it for $4,000. You can't run an intake and a downpipe at the same time with OTS tunes. Only on the 2015 plus STIs you cannot do that. All other generations, all other cars, at least Subarus for the most part, you can. I just got my 2018 STI to 391 torque, 345 horsepower on stock turbo with E85. I'm psyched and your vids helped. E85 does wonders. E85 does wonders. Do you have a favorite suspension upgrade recommendation? Coilovers, sway bars. That's really my go-to for any suspension upgrades that I'm doing on any of my cars. If I want it to be more stiff and more responsive, 100%. Nismos are dope. See, that's what I'm saying. I miss my Nissans. I love Subarus. Don't get me wrong, I love Subarus to death, but the next car is 100% going to be a Nissan on the channel. I'm going to tell you 100%. I've already decided. I know what it's going to be. I already know what it's going to be. It'll probably be like fall when we actually decide to get the next car, but it's 100% going to be a Nissan. And don't worry, the 05 STI is not going anywhere, and neither is the 17 STI. We're just going to be adding another machine to the fleet. Should I be picky when choosing a machine shop to do some of the work? 100% yes, be picky. Be picky. Not all machine shops are created equal. Keep that in mind. Find machine shops that have like good reviews, good ratings. Depending on how far you're like going with like the headwork. If it's just like a redeck on your heads, whatever machine shop will work. But if you're going like porting, you're getting like valve train work done, 100%. The machine shop you choose does matter. Like some people, I don't want to say there's like sketchy machine shops out there, but there's definitely some sketchy machine shops out there. Next mod, intake or wheels? Wheels, 100%. 12WX. Actually, do you already have an access port? If you already have if you have an access port, intake. If you don't have an access port, wheels. That's what I'm going with. Get her a Bug Eye wagon. All the cool kids are driving them. Mel! Come here! I have a question for you.
You have a question for me?
Yeah.
What's that?
What about a Bug Eye wagon?
For me?
Yeah. Why don't you come in? Come in. Come on.
No, I don't want
Come on! I'm gonna pick up the camera and point it at
to.
you.
No, I look bad.
Just peek around the corner.
No.
Oh my gosh. Bug Eye wagon, yes or no? It'd be like the...
Is that an 05?
Imagine the 05 out there. It literally looks like I'm talking to myself right now. Come on. It would be like the 05 out there, but in a wagon. Like the neighbor's car. It would essentially be the neighbor's car.
I would be okay with that.
A manual?
Mm-hmm.
We can get them for like $4,000. You could keep the 17 Impreza as your daily driver to drive to work. And then you could modify and play with the 05. You could learn to work on the car. It literally looks like I'm talking to myself right now. Come on. Everyone wants to say hi to you. Just peek around the corner. Just say hi. Just poke around the corner.
You can have a hand wave.
Here,
Hello.
your hand's not even in frame.
Hello.
It's got. I'm gonna look for wagons then. I'm gonna look for Bug Eye and Blob Eye wagons.
I mean, I was talking with Sam about buying mittens from them,
No.
and Sam scolded me.
We don't want mittens. We don't want mittens. Anyways, Chad, R35. No, not an R35. As much as I like R35 GTRs, I want like no. A, that's like way out of budget. B, I can't afford to modify it like consistently. And C, I want something a little bit older. Plumber, appreciate the dono, man. Tanner, I need help finding someone to trunk swap. Stop. See, everyone's saying it looks like I'm talking to myself now. Everyone says hi as soon as you left. Plumber, post up on, if you're not on the Discord, post up on the Discord. You might find someone local to you who could, like, definitely, sounds like she likes it. She does like the Bug-Eye wagon idea, or Blob-Eye, or Hawkeye. It could be any of the wagons. Post up on the Discord, post up on Facebook, local Subaru group. Someone will trunk swap, I promise. Stop talking to yourself. I can't. Now I can't. Wow, this is super delayed. I thought you were ignoring my messages. I was not ignoring them, my man. So the way that, if you guys are new to the live stream, I have 2 chat boxes open. I have a live chat that consistently scrolls as you guys comment, and then on the right side, I have another chat box that I go through to make sure that I try to get to as many comments as I can. So it's not me ignoring your guys' questions, your guys' comments. It's me, like, jumping between 2 chat boxes, trying to see what's actively going on and, like, what has been going on, so that way I can answer questions. My cousin has an 18 Impreza, and he's dropping an STI engine into it to make it a sleeper. Melanie and I talked about doing an FA20 DIT swap in her 17 Impreza hatchback. We might do that at some point. If I can successfully do one engine swap, we might go to do another one. I have a question. Does a muffler delete add 40 horsepower? No, I don't know who told you that. Think the ACT flywheel's a must with their clutch kit? Not necessarily, no. You could definitely resurface yours if you want, and reuse that one if you don't want to spend, was it $400 on a new flywheel? You can get one resurfaced for like $50-$60 depending on the machine shop you have. Jordan, appreciate the dono. P0021 on built OALGT in boost. My engine and turbo are fine. No banjo bolts. P0021, those are not fun. Check control solenoids unless timing is off. IDK, Motul 5W40. If you, that's not a fun code to deal with. I'm sorry to hear about that also. When I had P0021, what it was the AVCS cam gear. If you have an old worn AVCS cam gear, I'm assuming you still have AVCS because you said control solenoids in there. If you still have AVCS, you could have a piece of debris stuck in one of your AVCS cam gears. P0021 they're both intake side. If you want, you could, that didn't do anything for me when I did that, actually. I take that back. Oil control valves are good. No filters in the banjo bolts. Engine and turbo are fine. I would honestly try replacing cam gears at that point. If you have debris stuck in the cam gear, it's going to cause the oil galley in there to not be able to allow all the oil flow to go through there. So you're the pulsation from the AVCS solenoid into the cam gear itself is going to be off, causing a P0021 code. Or if you have the issue that I have where cam gear is misaligned, or if it started to walk on itself over time, it can elongate the hole where the dowel comes in, if it's not timing. If you haven't already physically checked mechanical timing, that would be what I assume to be the problem is. If you check mechanical timing and mechanical timing is good, AVCS cam gears is my next go-to for that one. Hopefully it's not bad. Hopefully you can knock it out. Hopefully it's something easy. Hopefully it's something simple. P0021 codes are not fun. They're not fun to deal with. If anybody in here has ever had to deal with a P0021 code, they're awful. They're absolutely awful. Some people, like, I have the whole video series. There was like 4 videos on the P0021 thing when I had it. Not fun. There's no internal baffling on the power steering resin. The cap isn't vented. 100%. I'm right there with you. Right there. Smedia pizza shirts. Pizza shirt. We can do pizza shirts. I have debated pizza shirts. I haven't had time to, like, do any updated merch. I'll probably do an updated merch drop in... What month is it now? It's almost May. We'll do a merch drop in June. We'll do one right before. So we'll do a summertime merch drop. We'll have pizza shirts in that one. We'll do some pizza shirts. If I were to continue with my narrow body, do I need a Pro Tune for external waste? Yes, you do. AOS, you don't need a Pro Tune for as long as it's a street series. If you get the competition series, you're going to have to Pro Tune for that one. Or you're going to have a tuning adjustment. Not necessarily a Pro Tune for that, but tuning adjustment. But the other two, 100% require a Pro Tune. My calipers are rusted shut on my 2010 Legacy GT. What do I do? If they're replace them. I mean, if it's just a Legacy GT, those calipers are pretty cheap to replace. Personally, I would probably do like a Subaru 2-pot, 4-pot, like upgrade on those ones. Upgrade the disc size a little bit as well. If you really want to reuse them, PB Blaster and heat, and then a rubber mallet, and just go to town knocking them off. I found another Z find. I'm all about the Zs. 4K for Zs. That's a good deal. Is it possible for a 2017 Subaru WRX CVT to hit 400 wheel horsepower? Not that I've seen reliably. CVTs like to get a little finicky around 320 wheel horsepower from what I've seen. Other people may have had better results with it than from what I've seen, but you never know. You never know. Hey, this is a family show. Where did I just go? Where did I just log? Dude! Reply to my comment midstream. What? Groovy, what's up? What is up, my dude? Just did valve cover gaskets on the Bug Eye and am beginning to question why I drive a Subaru. That's what Matt and I were doing yesterday, trying to shove a turbo inlet through the intake manifold. Not fun. Not fun. My caliper bolts are rusted. Big breaker bar, PB blaster, and heat. Should do the trick. If not, drill them out and replace them. I kind of feel the same way. My 20 STI rips some days. See, I'm telling you guys, it's placebo. It's all placebo effect. It's all placebo. I feel the same way at times. I promise it's all placebo. They were the original valve cover gaskets, 18 years old and 163,000 miles. I mean, I'm going to be honest. That's some pretty good life that you got out of those valve cover gaskets. Just throwing that out there. What is your go-to street clutch? I'm not trying to push more power in my 2020 WRX. I just want something that lasts longer but won't kill my leg. Honestly, like an OEM Exedy replacement. If you're really just trying to like keep it, if you're not shooting for more power, if you're just trying to keep it like a good daily driver status, just get an OEM Exedy. There's no need to get like an ACT or something along those lines. Well, I wanted to see him send it with 1300s. The 1050s are just fine. The 1050s are like $350 cheaper than the 1300s. Try to save it. We're trying to save a little bit of money here. Aisin uses Japanese manufacturers. That's why I went on that with the FXT. That's why I used it on. I was gonna use Gates on the 05 STI when we were doing all that stuff, but a lot of people were like, "Don't do it. Don't buy Gates." So I ended up getting the Aisin kit. Thanks for all the content. You have helped me maintain my WRX. Hey, glad I can help. I already have an OEM EJ or OEM 257 gasket kit. Should I go a thicker head gasket for my RA short block? To keep compression ratio the same 04 STI. I mean, you don't... Honestly, the... what is it? It's either 0.61 or 0.71 is what I normally use for head gasket thickness. Unless the heads have really been machined down quite a bit, I would stay within that range right there. I mean, you go too big on a head gas... Just stay within that middle range unless you've had, like, super machined heads. Want to go ED5 on my 06. What would I need and how much would you expect to spend? For my research, I was looking at $1,600 for fuel pump, $1,200 injectors, and ethanol sensor. Depends on the brand. If you buy off-brand generic stuff, you can definitely do it a lot cheaper. If you're buying like name brand Cobb stuff, I think, what do they charge? Like $2,500 for all those parts or something like that. But you can definitely do it for around $1,600 if you get like a Bosch or GM flex fuel sensor and you just wire it in and make it work. It's very doable. Picked up an 09 Rex hatch like a month ago and started looking at stuff on YouTube, and I found your channel. Hey, congrats on the car! And I just want to thank you. I've learned so much about Subies from you. Please keep it up. Definitely, there's always more to come, my friend. And congrats on the car. What gap do you have the plugs on the 05 set to? 0.28? I think it's 0.28 if I remember correctly. I think. Just wash your engine bay. Why are we... What? Wash the engine bay. I noticed a lot of FA owners forget to use hose clamps on Boomba bypass valves. Use them. I'm going to be honest. I don't blame them. Trying to shove any type of bypass valve down there and forgetting a hose clamp, it sucks. You got to... There's so much stuff you... It's such a pain. Such a pain. Full send! I'm all about it. I bought a modded WRX that has basic upgrades, air intake, exhaust, short shifter, and other things. I can add that to improve its lifespan. I mean, it's not really gonna... Those modifications aren't really gonna be lifespan improving one. Any other things? AOS. I don't know what WRX it is. If it's an EJ-based WRX, definitely add a cylinder for cooling mod. If it is a FA21 and you're in a place that doesn't really care for emissions too much, EGR and TGV delete, that would be my suggestions. What did he say? Dual injectors? No, what? You don't need to run dual injectors, my man. A small doggo requests you kindly hit the like buttons. That's what I'm saying. I don't know where he went. I think it's his dinner time. I think he's eating dinner. I have a 17WX with TGV delete CAI cold air intake, 3-inch turbo inlet, catless turbo back exhaust, and E-tuned by Ambot. Do I need to retune for Boomba bypass valve? No. You'd be totally fine just swapping bypass valves. Ambot doesn't answer questions, so it just sends maps. No, you'd be totally fine swapping bypass valves. The bypass valve has one function, and it's to open at X amount of PSI to let the air go back into the system. As long as you're not going to a fully atmospheric blow-off valve, shouldn't have any issues. I ordered that JDM STI oil cap and some Motul 5W40 for the STI. Yeah, that STI oil cap is expensive. I've got one on the 05 STI. I need to order another one for the 17 STI. They're not cheap. They're expensive. STI for life. Turkey baster. Bro, the turkey baster worked. Kinda. Not really, because I didn't realize that the oil filler neck, I didn't know at the time the oil filler neck went into the valve cover. So it takes a lot of oil to fill that thing all the way up. Let me tell you that right now. Brian, what's up, my dude? What's going on, man? What do we got going over here? Richard, upgrading radiators are always worth it. 100%. I'm always down for it. Just upgrading your radiator, too. Just because you go with a thicker radiator, it doesn't mean your car's going to run cooler. It just means it's going to be more efficient at keeping the car cool. But we've been going for about an hour. I got to jump off. I got to go finish this battery relocation that I am doing in the 17 STI. Get that relocated so that way I can test power. I need to ground. There's still a decent amount of things I got to do, and it's like 7:30. So I got to go knock that out. But I appreciate everyone swinging by the stream tonight. Remember, Tuesdays and Fridays, live stream, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, literally every week. We do them literally every week unless something like comes up that like diverts the stream completely. Appreciate all the donuts tonight. You guys always come in here, kill it every single time. And the likes. I have no idea how many likes are actually liked right now, but there's got to be a lot of likes. I'm hoping there's a lot of likes. I'm hoping. But if I didn't get to your guys' questions, please feel free to swing by the live streams. The earlier you get in, the better chance I have to be able to see your questions and get to them. But I hope everyone has a killer rest of their week. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. I was like looking at the live chat because I didn't know how delayed it was, but peace out, homies. Woo!